Still to come, Chad Lewis and Dylan Ludwig.
In the 172-pound weight division, introducing first, fight out the red corner, representing engaged combat training and extremely inspired, Chad Lewis.
Now, if there's one fighter I'm excited to see, that will be Charles Chad Lewis. This man here comes from a Taekwondo background, and you should be seeing some spinning kicks, jump kicks, high kicks, all kinds of kicks from all different directions from the man, Charles Chad Lewis, entering the ring with a boxing record of 1-1, 30 years of age. And he is a second-degree Taekwondo black belt, and he's from the old school of black belts where it took 10 years to earn that type of black belt. Charles Chad Lewis from Redlands, California, fighting out of Engaged Combat Training, trained by Chris Amanzo. And again, I'm excited to see this because we will see Feet of Fury from Charles Chad Lewis.
You mentioned that boxing record for Charles Lewis. Shades of Deontay Wilder there a little bit, walking in with that mask.
And that attitude.
Yeah, you know, body of Adonis too.
Fight out the black corner, representing Engage Your Rage, an Iron Division fighter, Dylan Ludwig.
Let's go!
And here we have 24-year-old Dylan Ludwig, who's been able to bounce his career back on track after starting on a rocky road. Lost his first 2 fights, picked up a win, split decision win in his last fight. Also picked up an amateur MMA win a month ago as well too. So we have Charles Lewis with a boxing background, Dylan Ludwig with an MMA background, and
all right, fight fans. Once again, this fight
should be an interesting sequence of events for sure.
Weight division. Judges scoring at ringside: Jamal Trad, Damian Hollywood, and Pongson. Your referee calling the action in the ring: Daniel Castillo. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Weight at fight time at 172.2 pounds. Fighting out of Redlands, California. Representing Engaged Combat Training and extremely inspired, this is Chaz Lewis! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the black corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weight at fight time at 169.4 pounds. Fighting out of Simi Valley, California, representing Engage Your Rage and Iron Division fighter, Dylan the Pusher Ludwig!
Well, Ludwig with a bunch of fans here. Fighting out the black corner, Chaz Lewis out of the red corner. Again, Chaz Lewis with his Taekwondo background. I'm excited to see these kicks. I train a Muay Thai kickboxer, Jermaine Soto, WCK champion, WBC champion, with a Taekwondo background too, and this man can use his feet just like his hands. Let's see if Chaz can turn it on the same way. Here we go for round 1.
Dylan wasting no time to dance here with Charles.
Charles fighting with the hands low.
Beautiful uppercut. Takes Charles Lewis off his tracks.
Oh, low blow and a timeout. I think it's just the intensity of the action right now. Both fighters are just really very much on fire, and it might have worked to Chaz's advantage, you know, because he did get rocked at that low blow and takes a short timeout. I want to see those hands high from Chad Lewis. Chad Lewis got to keep those hands up there. The fighters fighting inside the clinch.
Charles Lewis hasn't really found his footing after being caught with that uppercut early on in round one, but does a beautiful job with that right cross, momentarily stopping the momentum of Dylan Ludwig.
Oh, a Superman punch from Lewis comes over the top.
Hellacious pace here through round one. Minute 15 seconds in, and neither fighter has let off the gas here.
And Lewis with a nice cross.
Turning the tide here a bit. Perhaps he could even steal the round if he continues this.
Oh, and Ludwig with a cross hook combination. Another low blow.
Perhaps a stern warning will be in store here for Charles Lewis after his second low blow.
Whoa. And what a high intensity first round here between Charles Lewis and Dylan Ludwig. How do you see that, Manu?
Yeah, that was a very entertaining round. I gave it to Dylan Ludwig 10-9. Just did an amazing job in the first round, connecting with that uppercut that really dictated the pace for the rest of the first couple minutes. And Charles Lewis had some flash moments there too, but you know, we still got 4 minutes of fight left. I think both fighters did just enough to get some work to work off of in round 2 and 3.
Yeah, I like to see both fighters settle down just a little bit right now, because the intensity right now, it's almost like a puncher's chance, whoever gets the first punch in. I like to see them. I know both these fighters have great technique, and they can settle down the pace a little bit and find more precision, more control. There's probably a better second round for both the fighters.
That's a great point, David. I thought both fighters had a lot of anxiousness that they were working with and dealing through there in round 1. Charles Lewis turning his back. That's the last thing you want to do in a fight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, and another low blow.
What is going on here?
And it's a point deduction.
There we go.
Third time's a point deduction. And, you know, it's very unfortunate. We hate to see scoring go that way. But again, it was the third time. And then it's another reason fighters just kind of just settle down just a little bit, use a little bit more precision, control, measurement, timing. And it started to start that way in that second round. But I think I hate to see this go to a disqualification.
Yeah, the cards are stacked up against Charles Lewis right now. He really needs to turn down the illegal blows for sure and really keep everything north of the border.
Oh, a big hook by Lewis and a push kick to the face by Lewis.
Terrific combination there, one with the fist, one with the foot. Charles Lewis doing a terrific job getting.
And Ludwig tries to return the favor of that spin back fist, but comes up short. And Lewis, I just like to see him keep his guard up a little bit higher. He's got some strong punches, but then his hands drop.
And his head flails every time he gets caught with the punch. That gets the judges' attention. You know, he's going all over the place when he gets caught with the punch. It makes the judges feel that the punches might be a little bit harder than they are.
Oh, and a big hook by Lewis. These guys are just exchanging leather. Wow. Great action between the two. Unfortunate point deduction for Charles Lewis. Aside from the point deduction, Manuk, how do you see that?
That was quite the entertaining round. Seesaw affair. Both fighters gave everything they had there. Unfortunately for Charles Lewis, he lost a point for the illegal blow, his third low blow of the fight, and he got a point deduction. If it wasn't for the point, it would have been a 10-9 round in my book, but it's 9-9, and I have it 19-18.
Wow.
In favor of Dylan Ludwig here as we begin the third round.
Well, this is the round. This has been a high output fight. Conditioning may boil down to who will become victorious in this bout. The fifth bout of the evening here in Fighters Rep number 18. Let's see who has the better gas tank as we enter the third and final round between Chaz Lewis and Dylan Ludwig.
Both fighters breathing heavy in their corner. They know this fight is hanging in the balance. Let's see who's going to take it. Nice three-punch combination by Dylan Ludwig to get the third round started. Nice body shot. Both fighters digging in now.
Nice cross by Ludwig. Ludwig leaping in with those hooks. And
a standing eight.
Standing eight.
This might just do it for Dylan Ludwig. And there you have it. What a finish by Dylan Ludwig. Puts the combination, puts the heavy leather, finishes off Charles Lewis in style with the third round TKO.
Wow, oh wow. Dylan Ludwig let those hands go. And putting it all over Charles Lewis. I like the power of Charles Lewis, but I just feel after he punches, he lets his guard down a little bit, and he doesn't quite have that tight defense, and Dylan Ludwig is able to capitalize on that. And he let that leather go, and he earns the TKO victory in his third round.
Yeah, defense certainly was not at a premium in this fight. And Charles Lewis many times got connected with punches like that where he just ends up flailing and flying into the ropes and across the ring. And referee had just seen enough, absorbing all those heavy shots, starts to tally up after a while. And you got to live to see another day, another fight. And all credit to Dylan Ludwig, who's doing a fantastic job reviving his career after getting off to an 0-2 start. And here we are now, evening up that record to 2-2.
Great job there by Dylan Ludwig. Let's send it to Josh Abato as he will give us the official time for this bout.
All right, my fans, let's make this official. After 57-second round of round number 3, your referee, Daniel, starts the bout, declaring your winner by TKO from the black corner, Dylan the Butcher Ludwig.
Well, the Butcher served it up tonight with the third round TKO victory over Charles Chad Lewis. Improves now to 2-2. And that's a face of a happy warrior. Dylan Ludwig.
All right, I'm with your winner, Dylan the Butcher Ludwig. We have a replay. Let's watch walk us through this finish.
The main thing going through my head is just keep pushing, keep going forward. That's our mindset every time we go into train, is just keep moving forward. And that's what I want to execute every time I step in this ring, cage, whatever it is. I keep going forward, you know.
Now, not to interrupt you, you hurt your opponent Chaz, and leading up to this, so you knew there was blood in the water, right?
Yeah, you know, I rocked him a little bit in the second round. Going into the third, I knew I had to give everything. I'm fucking tired. But that's what this is. That's fighting. You got to put everything out there, and I hope I put on a show for you guys.
Honestly, I think you did. Now, I mentioned before, because I've known you, you've been with FightersRep for quite a bit in your fight camp. We have a champion right in your corner as well. Now, I've seen you. You've never looked so shredded before, and honestly, I felt that you definitely were faster, but from the results here, hitting just as hard as you did before. How did you feel going into this fight?
You know, this is probably the best I felt going in any fight. I feel so fucking good right now. You know, I gotta give credit to my coach, man. He pushed me to go plant-based, and that's been the key to this. I've just never felt better. I feel full of energy, and I'm hungrier more than ever to get back in here and do everything I can to put on a show.
And of course, shout out to Coach Rage, one of the, he has so much energy, I don't think fight fans realize, but this man is louder than me, and he doesn't have a mic. He is that loud, and he is, I'm sure, so inspirational for you in your corner. Now again, an amazing performance. You got the finish here. What does the future hold for you, Dylan the Butcher Ludwig?
You know, like I said in my last post-fight interview, you know, more finishes, more knockouts, and I feel like I divided, but I'm not satisfied with that. I want to do better. I do have one thing to say. Anybody out there that signs that dotted line to fight me, I want you to remember one thing. I will cut you, I will gut you, and I will drain you, because I am the Butcher! Line them up, shots open.
No more needed to be said. Your winner, Dylan the Butcher Ludwig.
And that Butcher says he'll make mincemeat out of you. Dylan Ludwig coming out victorious, improving to 2-2.